So hi guys. So this week we are doing the gender tag. I personally identify as being queer male, and for me that is a really broad umbrella term that encompasses how I feel about my gender identity and my sexual orientation and how I feel about those things. Uh, Being queer is important for me because for me that encompasses not just being non-heterosexual, but also being political, being academic, being involved and interested in what's going on in the world. So my pronouns never used to bother me at all, and I used to say that I didn't care. And then in the process of coming out, I've realised that I do care. So at the moment, I go by they, their, or them. I was actually talking about this with a friend last night, and he was interested in how they, their, and them could fit when really it's a plural. And he's right. And for me, actually, that's why it fits. Because at the minute, I feel like everything that's going on is a discussion between me, myself, and I. And so the plural term encompasses the pluralities of people that I feel like I am right now. I do think fundamentally at my core, I feel like I'm a he and I'm a him. The one that I just don't, the one I don't like, and the one that does upset me when it happens is when people call me she. So personal style. Band t-shirts, jeans, Converse, Stan Smiths. Love a good suit. Love a good suit with a pair of Stan Smiths. Tailoring, waistcoats, braces, a nice hat, cardigans, sometimes like a librarian. Sherlock Holmes in CBS's Elementary is basically my style god. I do like being smooth. It's a discretionary call. Sometimes I just like it. I like the sensation. Other times I don't. I think, like a lot of FCM guys, I'm quite excited for the day that I can grow a beard. But more fundamentally than that, for me, I want sideburns. I just think I could pull them off. They might be too long, but I think I could do it. So I used to never leave the house without wearing full makeup, battle armour. It made me feel good. And I've always been alternative, so I was like an indie rock kid, dark eyeliner, that kind of thing. Really, since I've come out, I've just liberated myself from feeling like I have to do that, which is really for me like a symbolic thing, a sort of first step of no, I don't have to do this anymore. I don't need to try and pretend to be something that I'm not. I'm compulsive about washing my hands, so I always have to make sure that I have a nice smelling, non-abrasive soap. In terms of like deodorant and stuff like that, I've always actually gotten stuff that's marketed towards men because I've just always preferred the smells. I prefer the sort of cleaner, citrus, fresh end rather than the kind of overly floral. It does happen, and it's hard. And I think for me, it comes under two umbrellas. One is if somebody means to do it, and the other is if they don't. And if you know and you misgender me, but I know you don't mean it, then I'm fine with it. And if you know, and I think that it's a case of you just refusing to apply the pronouns that I want or to acknowledge this thing, then typically you will be out of my life very quickly. I think there's an awful lot of this stress that I just don't need to. I don't need to deal with. I suppose pronoun misuse is the biggest form of misgendering, and that can be hard. I misgender myself regularly, so it can be a tricky one for other people. And I am patient, but there's definitely a line, I think, and it's hugely a question of respect. Yes, I have dysphoria, and I've spoken about this a little bit, but for me, it's been a case of dislocation from my own body and feeling unconnected to anything because it's something that I don't want to deal with. It does affect my moods. There's usually about a week, a month where I get through the day and I get home. But it's constant because it doesn't go away. It's not changing at the moment. And I'm excited for the day that it does change because it is this inescapable thing of when there is a problem with it and when things are terrible. They're terrible and it's like being locked in a prison. And like you have to face all of this stuff that you just don't want to have to go through constantly. There's never an escape from it. And that's really hard. I think if I end up with a partner and they were very invested in having children, I would be interested. I certainly wouldn't want to carry a child. The concept and idea of pregnancy is something I find beyond terrifying. I just freaks me out. There are times where I think I'd be good at it. I think I could do it. And then there are other times where, like, if I've lost my mind with miles, where I'm like, nope, not a chance. I find it interesting that children and money are the two things that we're really looking at here. It matters to me very much to be financially independent because I equate that with freedom. I can do more of what I want to do without having to ask for permission or justification for the why of me having done something. So that matters. In terms of like earning more than, no. I mean, money matters, it matters so that you can do things, but I would never want to be in a situation where I had a partner who cared very much about money, because there'd just be a deep incompatibility there. But I mean, in terms of like who makes the most money here now, I mean, I'm very much on the John Lennon scale of things. You know, the teacher asked me what I want to be when I grow up, and I said I want to be happy. And that is the only thing that money is good for. It's not a system of worth. You're not better than somebody else if you have more money. You are more privileged, and you should behave better. But in general, no. And I would never want to consider money being anything as significant or important. I suppose I have the dream, like most other people, that I would like to get to a stage where I make enough money that I don't have to think about how much money I make. And I can pay my taxes, and I can do my things, and I can have my life, and have that be it, really. But no, not a system of worth. Don't care if I make more or less. Wouldn't I, I'm a writer, I wouldn't ever imagine that I would make more. So yeah, me and the gender tag. See you guys next week.